For the last section of chapter 1, we're going to look at transformations in the coordinate plane. So to start off with here, we have some vocab terms. A transformation is a change in the position, size, or shape of a figure. So moving it around in that coordinate plane. The pre-image is your original figure that you're given to start with, and the image is the new figure after you've transformed it. A reflection is a type of transformation that actually flips the figure across a line, and that line is called the line of reflection. And then we have rotation, which is another transformation, and a rotation is just like a turn or a spin about a point, and for generic point P, and that point is called the center of rotation that it spins around. And then we have transformation, which is a slide, translation, which is a slide. That's a type of transformation where all the points in the figure move the same distance in the same direction. So it can go up and down, left or right, or a mixture of those. So for example 1, it says identify the transformation and then use arrow notation to describe the transformation. Well, if we look at this, it's not a reflection, because if we folded the paper in half, like along this diagonal line right here, our triangles are going to be close to matching up, but they're not quite. And if you look at the points, the labels, C and C prime are across from each other, and that would not happen in a reflection. So it's definitely not a reflection. It's not a translation, because a translation is just taking it and sliding it. We're not actually changing the location of the points. So this has to be a rotation. And if you took your paper and turned it 180 degrees, then you would have that same figure down there in the light purple. Now, what they mean by arrow notation is start off with your first triangle. So this is triangle BCD, and it was transformed to triangle B prime, C prime, D prime. So our image, our new figure, is labeled with that prime, which is just a little apostrophe behind the letters. And this is arrow notation. So just using an arrow showing what we're going from and then what we're changing to. Example 2, a figure has the vertices of A, B, and C given here. After transformation, the image of the figure has the new vertices given. Draw a pre-image and image and identify the transformation. So we have to plot these points here. So the first one is -1, 4. So over -1 and up 4. Then we have -1, 1, and +3, 1. And I'm going to connect those. And I'm going to label them. This was A, B, and C. And now we're going to plot the image, so the new points, and I'll do those in red. And those are at -1, -4, -1, -1, and 3, -1. And if we were to fold this right along this line, our points would match up. So this is what is called a reflection. And that line I drew is the line of reflection, and that is right on the x-axis. So I'm going to say reflection over the x-axis. When we have translations, we go from the ordered pair of xy to x plus a and y plus b. And what that simply means is what you add to the x value is going to, this value here is moving it left or right. So the x moves the image left or right, and the y is going to move it up and down. So if you add a number to those, they're either going to go right if it's the x value or up if it's the y value. And if you subtract a number from it, it's going to go left if it's the x and down if it's the y. So for example 3, it says find the coordinates for the image of triangle ABC after the translation of x to y, xy to x plus 3, y minus 4, and draw our image. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a t-table of our original points. So we have -4, 0, we have -1, +1, and we have -3, +3. Then I'm going to draw a table with our new points. So for the x value, we're going to add 3 to all of those. So -4 plus 3 would give us -1. -1 plus 3 would be 2. And -3 plus 3 would be 0. And then we're going to do the same thing with y, only it says -4. So we're going to take all the y values and subtract 4. 0 minus 4 is -4. 1 minus 4 is going to be -3. And 3 minus 4 is going to be -1. And then I can plot these new points over here on our graph. So what happened was the figure moved 3 to the right and then down 4. So that was a translation or a slide. And for our last example here, the pattern shown is similar to a pattern on a wall of the Alhambra. Write a rule for the translation of square 1 to square 2. So a translation is a slide. So if we look at square 1, to get to square 2, we would have to go up and then we would have to go to the left. So what we're going to do is write the point for point A, our starting point. So A looks like it's at over 3 up 1. And A prime, the ordered pair, looks like it's at 1 and up 3. So let's look at our x values. Our x values, I started at 3 and I went to 1. So that would be a -2. So we're going to say x minus 2. And then our y's started at 1 and went to 3. So that would be a +2. So our y is y plus 2. And that would be the rule for our translation of square 1 to square 2.